What's up, guys? Welcome back to Coaster in Perspective. I hope you guys are having a really great day, and I really hope you are, because today we're going to be talking about the evolution of the Hyper Roller Coaster. If you haven't seen part 1 of this series, I strongly recommend you to, as I go over the manufacturers, aerodynamics, and B&M. Now, I know last video was more of a shorter one, but hey, hear me out, it was really late at night, and it was the day before we left Maryland to go back to my home in Boston, Massachusetts. Now, if you don't already know, this is a series where I talk about the evolution of the Hyper Roller Coaster from the late 90s, or early 90s, as I should say, to today. I have dubbed this series Rags to Riches for a good reason, because the early Aero Hyper Coasters that they produced, in my opinion, weren't very good. I know a lot of people praise Magnum XL 200, but it doesn't look that significant to me. And Buffalo Bill and Pepsi Max picks one. Well, you just look like it'll bruise your thighs. Now, let's get started in the evolution of the Hypercoaster, Part 2. Now first, I want to talk about a small cameo in the Hypercoaster market. This was Giovanola. Giovanola got their start making hyper roller coasters with Goliath at Six Flags Magic Mountain. Goliath is often criticized for its useless drop, and I will not deny that, and it is mostly criticized for being forceless and having no airtime. Though I have not ridden Goliath, it does look to be quite forceful, especially in the second half, but that mid-course looks to be absolutely dreadful, and that first drop looks to do absolutely nothing also. Now, Giovanola's other hyper roller coaster, Titan, at Six Flags Fiesta, Texas, is a near identical clone of Goliath, though it incorporates an extra helix before going into the mid-course brake run. Though Titan looks to be more forceful than Goliath at Six Flags Over Texas, it doesn't really have much differences. Same forceless drop, same forceless turnaround, and same forceless camelback. In the words of Airtime Thrills,
"You suck! You suck!"
Psst, disclaimer. I've not actually ridden Titan or Goliath at Six Flags Over Texas or Six Flags Fiesta, Texas. Please take this opinion with a grain of salt if you're one of those people who get easily offended. So, I think we've pretty much rounded off Giovanola, and now it's time to talk about the next manufacturer on this list, which is Morgan. Morgan Manufacturing has built 8 different roller coasters, and all but 2 of them are over 200 feet tall. One of them actually being over 300 feet tall with Steel Dragon 2000 at Nakashima Spallland. The most famous Morgans are in the Cedar Fair chain, with Wild Thing at Valley Fair, Mamba at Worlds of Fun, and Steel Force at Dorney Park. All of which have gotten much hate over the years for being forceless and pretty much just mine trains on steroids. Steel Force at Dorney Park looks to have some fun airtime and a semi-decent layout, I guess, but it does look like that mid-course brake run does look pretty brutal. And the same could be said for Mamba at Worlds of Fun and Wild Thing at Valley Fair, which has dubbed the nickname Mild Thing, but I'm not going to get too far into that today. Though, what looks to be, not easily, but definitely the best Morgan roller coaster is undoubtedly Phantom's Revenge at Kennywood in West Mifflin, Pennsylvania. Yes, the world famous Phantom's Revenge, possibly one of the best roller coasters in existence for its insane drops and its amazing ejector airtime moments. Yes, though I have not ridden this, I am in love. So, it looks to be incredibly smooth, surprisingly. It looks to have buzz bar-like restraints, like that's crazy. Do you see that ejector airtime? Do you see that double down right now? Sorry, I'm going a bit crazy, going a bit off script. No, I don't even have a script then. Get back in it, Liam. Anyway, so it just looks incredible, and it's just a work of art by Morgan. And Superman and Steel Eel, you had your runner-up, but this has to be my favorite Morgan coaster by far. And this thing also has one of the most interesting histories of any roller coaster on Earth. When Phantom Revenge originally opened in 1991, it was called the Steel Phantom. This was before Morgan overhauled practically the entire thing, removing its foreign version and replacing them with airtime hills. Now, enough about Phantom's Revenge and Morgan. Let's move on to our next manufacturer, which is Intamin. Intamin kicked off their hypercoaster building career with Ride of Steel, or at the time, Superman Ride of Steel at Six Flags Darien Lake. Ride of Steel at the time got much praise for its multiple airtime moments and sense of speed moments, so forth that giant, massive piece of straight track that, when you look at it nowadays, actually has some purpose for it being right over the water. There was an exact clone of Superman Ride of Steel that went over to Six Flags America, which still runs today as Superman Ride of Steel, whereas Darien Lake is now just Ride of Steel, which is more of a description than an actual name. Besides that, even to this day, coaster enthusiasts really seem to like this thing, even though many people criticize it for that pointless straight track, which actually, though I haven't ridden either of this, which is actually starting to become more of a trend in my videos, it actually does look like a fun little straight section where you can get a nice sense of speed. Though the one at Six Flags America can't really share the same glory, since that straight track kind of just takes place over a flat strip of land. Though the good elements that this ride has are really good, such as that ejector hill, but the not so good elements of this ride also are not so good, especially with that double helix. To be honest, both helixes don't really look to do anything. I'm guessing this is more a prediction since I haven't really ridden either of those, as I said before, but the finale also does look pretty good. I'm not trying to trash on this ride or anything. I think they do look very good, so please don't give me any slack. Now, I am very sorry, but I'm only going to be saying a few things about the incredible Superman the Ride at Six Flags New England. Now, I'm just going to say this right up front. This looks to be better than Ride of Steel and just Superman Ride of Steel at Six Flags America combined. I know that's a very bold statement, but the layout on this thing is absolutely insane, and I don't want to hear anything about the U-bricks. Okay? Just appreciate this layout. I mean, I know I'm kind of like going away from my, kind of stoic feel, but this is absolutely awesome. Sure, the theming is great, sure, it's at the Six Flags Park, yes, the U-bricks. And if I hear someone complain about a rattle, then I don't know, because this is one of the smoothest roller coasters I've experienced. This is an amazing attraction, and to be honest, I think it's around my number one. Alright? This utilizes ejector airtime, and the layout is so amazing, utilizing out and back layout with the front of ride, and you mix it up a little bit with the twister section in the back. I am so glad to have this as my home Six Flags park, and I come here every chance I get to ride this beautiful masterpiece. Alright? Stop. Now, I'm really sorry that I don't have more time to talk about this amazing piece of art, but first of all, I do want to talk more about Hyperion at Energylandia, and I realize that it's 11 p.m. at night. I just got home from a 9-hour car ride, which really sucks, and I want to go to bed, so yeah. So, Hyperion at Energylandia looks to be one of the best hypercoasters in existence. This looks to have great theming while also having some amazing elements. In the past years, Intamin has tried to use a cable lift on their lift hills, but strangely, they decided to go with the traditional chain lift. Now, this looks to have some amazing airtime moments, such as that first camelback and the first drop. And the turnaround isn't some lame old turnaround. It's a friggin' dive loop. A dive loop on a hypercoaster. Who does that? Seriously, look at this thing. It looks to be absolutely insane. Though, as you've probably guessed, I've not been to Poland yet. Hopefully in the future. But if we go, then this is number one on my bucket list. This absolutely looks like an incredible ride. And, you know, stop complaining about a rattle. Just, if there was a rattle in this ride, I would overlook it because it just looks to be absolutely incredible. Now, unfortunately, that is where I'm going to leave it off today. Now, as I said earlier, are the reasons, if you want to rewind. But, you know, I'm tired, and I want to go to bed. And for, the 5th consecutive video, I filmed this late at night, which probably isn't a good idea. But I digress. Now, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked the video, make sure to like, or comment, or subscribe. I don't care, just do one of the each. Preferably subscribe, but you know, I'm not very picky. If you like, please show your appreciation for the video. It really motivates me to create more videos like these in the future. So, in the next video, we'll be talking about some other manufacturers who made hyper roller coasters, such as the infamous Togo, and we will also be including the part 3. Now, one thing I have not mentioned yet is that there's going to be 4 parts to this series. The first 3 parts will be listing all the manufacturers, while the 4th part will be ranking all the manufacturers by their hypercoaster market. Well, I mean, not all the manufacturers, just the one that has made hyper roller coasters, including you, Giovanola. Alright, have a nice day, like I always say, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.